Today we live in an age of Kydex, it seems, in regards to holsters. Kydex, it almost seems like they're kind of a dime a dozen when we're talking about holster companies. We have the really big companies out there, we have the more regional companies, local companies, and everybody seems to have their hands in the Kydex business. So with that said, of course, here's another quick holster review from Harry's Holsters. Now, I received this holster from him to review, and I had it for a little bit, and I've talked about it on Instagram, or rather I posted some pictures and such on Instagram. And I figure now I've kind of owned it long enough that I can speak to it and make a little bit of a review. So, again, this is an inside the waistband holster from Harry's Holsters, and along with it, these pieces you see right over here, this stuff right here, this is the belt kit. And basically what that means is you can take this holster, you can see the different attach points right here. Basically, here, I'll hold it up closer to the camera. You can see what I'm talking about. That belt kit is basically, if I wanted to take these off, if I wanted to carry it in a different way, like if I wanted to do, appendix carry, I wanted to do some sort of different carry, whether it's appendix carry, kidney, tuckable, whatever. I can do that with that belt kit, which I think is kind of a neat little deal. I haven't seen that with the other holsters that I've reviewed so far. Sure, you could change the configuration of a holster a little bit, but sometimes you're kind of limited. If you want to go from a 3 o'clock, which is what I carry right here, this is a 3 o'clock right hand. If I wanted to go to an appendix carry or something like that, then I may have to change holsters. But with this holster, I can pretty much change out the hardware on it, and there you go. I can go ahead and carry appendix carry, do whatever I need to do. So, by the way, just as a side note, this is an M&P full-size VTAC 9mm. I carry this off duty now. I used to carry a Glock 19, but because I carry a Smith & Wesson M&P on duty, it's a little bit smarter for me to have the same off-duty type of handgun, so I went with the 9mm VTAC versus another 40 caliber. I still have my Glock 19. I just pretty much retired it from everyday carry for the time being. So let's get back to the holster. Now, the way I have this configured is at the 3 o'clock. I'm not really a small guy. I'm not a super huge guy, but I'm not really a small guy. So carrying a full-size handgun at 3 o'clock is no issue for me. I can even carry it in a t-shirt with this holster, which really speaks to me as far as how well the holster is made. This particular one, I have the cant on it. I set it up with a little bit of a cant, just that way to aid in concealment and aid in the draw. But I can adjust that. These right here, these are adjustable, so you can adjust. One thing I do like that these guys send along that I haven't seen with some of the other guys that I've dealt with is this right here. They send along some thread locker. Thread locker is important. Now, the reason I think it's a really good idea they send it along is what I've noticed in some other holsters in the past. As I carried and as I used the holster for a while, and I'm speaking to strictly Kydex stuff, other Kydex holsters. As I carried, I would notice sometimes the screws, especially the screws that that are involved with retention and whatnot, they tend to back out a little bit over time. So I have to keep an eye on it. It's not something that happens really fast. I mean, this is something that happens over a period of time. I have to keep an eye on it and kind of redo my retention when I notice it's starting to get a little bit loose. For what I like, I have to get in there and tighten the screws. Now with this thread locker, I can go ahead and cinch those screws down. I don't have to worry about them backing out. Now with that said, for the purposes of the review, I have not used the thread locker yet. And I did that because I just kind of wanted to see how this thing would work. In regards to how good the screws will stay tight and if I have to do any type of adjustment. So, I haven't had to do any type of adjustment except for right here on this one. There was a little bit of, right on the retention screws here, there was a little bit over some time. I had to kind of readjust them one time. But that was just very noticeable. I'm pretty picky when it comes to stuff, and I like my stuff to be pretty tight. So there was just a tiny little bit of play. I adjusted it just a little bit and it was fine. But otherwise, it went really good. Now that was me purposely not using the thread locker. So what I'll do after I get done with this video, I'll throw some thread locker on and I'll be good to go. These guys, check them out. I'll kind of hold up the card here to the, there we go, www.harrysholsters.com. Check them out. They seem to be pretty good folks. They have a lot of different stuff to offer on their website, so check it out, see what fits your needs the best. And with that said, if you have any type of dealings with Harry's Holsters, feel free to comment in the comment section below, of course. And while I'm at it, feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's kind of a newer thing I've been doing. I've been moving over to Instagram a little bit and throwing up some pictures and doing some stuff there, just kind of seeing what's going on in that world. So feel free to follow me on Instagram. And all the information, the specific information for the holster and for my Instagram and stuff will be in the description bar below. So with that said, thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe.